To try and cool down Korea's overheated housing market, the government is introducing stronger measures, including our plans to raise taxes on owners of high-priced properties and prohibiting those with multiple homes from borrowing money for speculative buying. Ji-yeon tells us more.
Tax rates will be raised for owners of high-priced houses worth more than $1.6 million each starting January next year. That's according to measures released by the Ministry of Economy and Finance on Thursday, which sees speculative housing practices as the main culprit behind Korea's soaring household debt, estimated at around $1.3 trillion.
Issues concerning real estate are directly related to the livelihoods of the people. This is why the government has done its utmost to stabilize housing prices through a series of measures related to real estate and household debt.
The ministry says they'll raise the taxes on owners of 2 or more expensive houses in speculative areas, including those in Seoul and adjacent areas, by up to 1.2 percentage points to a maximum of 3.2%. The ministry also says it'll tighten the rules on sales by people with multiple houses, applying the transfer tax if they own the house for less than 2 years, rather than the current 3. It'll prohibit homeowners from buying more houses in speculative zones using borrowed money, making it one of the strongest measures laid out by the government so far to curb speculation. So the loan-to-value ratio when such owners apply for loans will be 0 starting next year from the current 40%. Previously, the government had only lowered the loan-to-value ratio to make it harder for people to borrow money to purchase houses, not banned the practice entirely. But for those that do not own a home or are seen as exceptions, such as when the owner of one house is buying another to live in and is acknowledged as the end user, safeguard measures are put into place so that their loan-to-value as well as their debt-to-income ratios remain at the current 40% level. Starting Friday, the loan-to-value ratio and debt-to-income ratios for multiple homeowners who want to borrow money for medical and educational expenditures will be raised by 10 percentage points to 50%. The measure is seen as a way to induce multiple homeowners to sell their properties rather than borrow more money to cover their expenses. Ji-yeon, Arirang News.